This section of the pie chart represents my discomfort at the time.
It's red. Is that significant?
Only to distinguish it from the blue.
You are a Canadian citizen,
Yes.
and this happened in Syria.
Yes.
Tell me more about the red section.
I was kept in a hole in the ground. It was 3 feet wide and 6 feet deep.
It sounds like a grave.
I was there for 10 months and 10 days.
And the white section of the chart, what is that?
The white is unconsciousness.
These were found in your bag. What are they?
Mesbah.
And what do they do?
They're prayer beads.
You bought these in Tunis?
Tunis is famous for its coral sabah,
What's that?
the individual beads.
Your wife's name is Monia?
If not for her, I think I would still be in there.
You were on vacation with your wife and your children when this happened?
Who's collected this information?
99 beads on a mesbah. So each bead represents one of Allah's names?
You seem familiar with him?
I looked it up on the internet. Sign this.
What is it?
It just says that the white section of the chart represents your dreams.
I need to call my wife.
I thought the white section was sleep.
In part.
What else?
On a number of occasions I was beaten so badly I passed out. The white is unconsciousness.
You left your wife and family in Tunis so you could return to work?
I'm a mathematician.
You were returning from Tunis to Montreal and you had to pass through New York.
Well, the best flight I could get with my miles went from Tunis to Zurich, to New York to Montreal.
And New York is where they apprehended you.
I asked to see a lawyer. They told me I had no right to see a lawyer.
Because you're not an American citizen, you're Syrian.
I'm a Syrian-born Canadian.
Why do you want to return to Syria?
I told them I would be tortured.
Why?
I'm a Sunni Muslim. I've not done my military service.
You left the country without permission.
My father sent me away when I was very young.
They kept laughing and laughing, so much so they were running out of air, and their faces were all red.
What's so funny?
I was reciting the 99 names of Allah.
You mean they let you have your mesbah?
No, I was imagining the beads as I said the names. When I came to the 9th name, Al-Jabbar,
The compeller,
one of the interrogators thought I said Al-Jorel,
which is the name of Superman's father.
and one of the interrogators knew that, and they thought it was funny.
Did he mishear you or did you misspeak?
He had his fingers in my mouth.
We're gonna let you go. The door is locked. When I count to 3, start running.
The door's locked.
You're a mathematician, do the math.
I need to call my wife.
We want you to volunteer to go to Syria.
I want a lawyer.
The trouble is, we're from different worlds.
I'm a Canadian citizen.
Just sign this and you'll be free to return to Syria.
I'll be tortured there.
1,
The door's locked.
2,
Is the door locked?
3.
All right.
You said you were beaten so badly you passed out.
Yes.
And yet you placed that in the white section.
Yes.
You don't count that in the red section with the discomfort?
I was unconscious.
I don't understand.
They started calling me Superman. They thought I had called out for Jor-El. They thought that was funny. But I had resolved that I wouldn't sign anything else. So they had a crate full of Superman comics brought in.
Brought in from where?
Where do Superman comics come from?
Go ahead.
They rolled the comic books up into tight little tubes. And they beat me on the palms and wrists.
The wrists? Why not put that in the right section?
Because when you pass out, it's like they've left a window open. It's like walking out the door.
If you pass out, it means the torturer has made a mistake. Do you know Abdullah Jabbar?
I worked with his brother at a tech firm in Ottawa.
The Jabbar family came over about the same time you did.
I was 17.
How well did you know Abdullah?
Not well, I knew his brother.
But your first lease in Canada, the witness, isn't this Abdullah Jabbar's signature?
Who's collected this information?
Please answer the question.
Oh yes, I forgot.
You forgot.
I didn't have any family in Canada. I called him to sign for me. He wasn't home, so Abdullah came over.
This is an uncomfortable question.
Go ahead.
When your father sent you from Syria, why didn't he leave himself?
He felt it was his duty to stay behind, to try and save his country.
All of the information I can find about Jor-El. They call him Krypton's greatest scientist, Krypton's foremost physicist, and here, the greatest scientist on Krypton. So why doesn't anyone believe him when he says the planet is doomed?
No one wants to believe that about his home.
This is an uncomfortable question.
Go ahead.
If the comic books were rolled up, how did you know they were Superman comic books?
I don't understand.
I can't get the whole story by typing Maher Arar into my computer. That is your name, correct?
What are you asking me?
Did you actually see one of these comic books close up?
I just know.
How?
I could tell by the strength it took. For me to resist, they must have been using something old. I could tell by how hard they were.
But you didn't actually see one.
I just know.
I don't see how you could know that.
I prayed to Allah.
Why, in the middle of an interrogation, would you call on Allah by his name, the Compeller?
He might send me home to my wife in Montreal. He might compel you to stop.
Tell me about the blue section of the pie chart.
The blue was a time of interrogation without torture. I was 13 days in New York.
What was that like?
It was a lot like this.
I don't believe you.
I need to talk to a lawyer.
I don't like your graph.
What are you doing?
I'm taking your graph down. I'm going to put it away.
Don't roll it up so tight. You'll ruin it.
Will you sign this?
No.
Trouble is, we're from different worlds. I'm in the blue section, and you're in the white. All I want to do is send you home to Syria. But to do that, I have to get you from your ridiculous stories and dreams and back to a more believable scenario. I have to carry you from the white into the blue. I'm afraid that to get there, you're going to have to go through a little bit of red.